What up, though, Lions fans? It's your man, Curt Steele from the Boss Up Ball Out podcast for Lions Nation Unite. Today, we're going to dive straight into one of the most captivating storylines of the NFL postseason. Ben Johnson taking over as new head coach of the Chicago Bears and his aggressive behavior against his former team and our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. Now, there's no denying that Ben Johnson had made his mark in Detroit as the offensive coordinator, transforming the Lions offense into a formidable weapon. The Lions had a record-setting season last year on offense, undoubtedly one of the best in franchise history in the Super Bowl era. But now he's left that behind to take over the reins as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. Now, this move sent some shockwaves through the league, especially in Detroit, and a lot of pissed fans of the Lions were looking at this move like, what the hell did you just do? Including me. Really pissed me off when he took that position, not because he got a head coaching position, because where he took the position and how he acted after he took the position. Because why would Johnson ditch a team on the rise to go to Chicago? Simple as what some people may say, it's the challenge of elevating one of the league's storied franchises to new heights while facing off against his old team. I get the challenge, but bruh, you became the enemy as soon as you took that job. You the ops, you that crazy neighbor that is across the street, you are enemy of the state, and you're going to stay that way as long as you in Chicago, brother. Because he came out the gate swinging. When I saw him on Bears social media channel saying Chicago is always where I wanted to be, and a huge smug smile, I'm like, what? So all the time you in Detroit, you wanted to be in Chicago, huh? And there's also rumors that he had the Chicago job even before the divisional round playoff game against the Commanders. And some of his focus was split during game week. He was making calls, trying to build his roster and trying to game plan at the same time. That just don't work. And then as soon as he stepped foot in Chicago, he started acting like he was the villain in Chicago when he was announced as the head coach. And I'm looking at this dude like, bitch, please. You ain't that guy, man. But let's dig a little deeper before I kind of get into more my rant on Ben Johnson. Now, he took over that role. I must admit, it's no ordinary coaching change. It was a calculated decision to go over to Chicago and try to establish himself as the villain in the NFC North. I mean, he's not just participating as trying to be the villain. He's embracing the chaos. He's going all out the people, talking out the side of his neck. Went after Packers coach Matt LaFleur, which is one of the Bears' biggest rival. But guess what, Ben? Matt LaFleur has owned the Bears, man. And like Aaron Rodgers took his ownership to New York, he transferred it to Jordan Love. So the ownership of the Bears still reside in Wisconsin and in Detroit, because we've been whipping that behind the last few years as well. You remember because you was on our sideline when we were doing it. Okay. Now, in sports, every great story requires a compelling antagonist, man, and Johnson's trying to step into that role head first. I ain't buying it, but he's trying to do it. You know, he's trying to make his presence felt as the new villain in the division, and we all know that the true villains are the Lions. Brad Holmes and them cats still got their sweatshirt that says the villain on it, man. We still rocking villain gear in Detroit. You ain't the villain, bruh. And you trying to go toe-to-toe with the Lions with an intent to win? I don't think it's going to work for you, big bruh. Little bruh, because I don't know how you acting, man. You're lashing out, man. You seem to sound a little childish, man. And my problem with Johnson is this doesn't seem to be genuine, man. He just doesn't seem like genuine when he's doing this stuff. It's like that kid in school, or maybe if you're in the military, a service member, or you got a coworker that leaves and goes somewhere else, and tries to invent themselves into one of the cool kids when they get to a new school or a military base or a new place of employment, and you know them, and you're looking at this dude like, hey, bruh, this ain't you. Like, you ain't got a lot to make friends, my guy. Just be yourself. And his behavior just seems petty and weird. We've seen him in Detroit forever. Like, we know who you are, guy. And recently he's taken shots at the Lions, especially doing the media sessions at the NFL Combine, clowning the Lions defense. Went after Jared Goff a few times. And I'm watching this cat like, wow, man. Just a few months ago, you and JG were boys. You was his biggest cheerleader. You were building the offense around him. And Ben Johnson and Jared Goff were supposed to be as tight as the NFL offensive coordinator and NFL offensive coordinator and quarterback in the league. They're supposed to be tighter than pantyhose, 2 sizes small. And now Johnson's happy to have an athletic quarterback. And now the statue guy with a big arm, and Johnson saying that Penei Sewell throws a better pass than Jared Goff. And Ben Johnson just coming off as a huge douche his early days as the Bears head coach. I'm just going to call it what it is. Not very likable. And we all know the Bears and their Lions have had a long-standing rivalry, rich in history. Now that Johnson's in charge, man, he's going to try to take the stakes up even higher, becoming the villain. But he's not really a villain, man. The matchups are going to be going to promise some tension-filled drama on the field, and with the unpredictability of the NFL, Johnson is just not trying to aim to win. He wants to dominate his former team in the Detroit Lions, but I don't see that happening. You know what? You know why I don't see that happening? Because we got MCDC, man, and he's going to have something to say about that. You don't think MCDC is being calculated in his moves? He is very much being calculated in his moves, and he's hearing all the trash that Ben Johnson is talking. He's not going to reply to it. He's going to wait till they get on the field, and twice a year, he's going to make sure he wants to punish Ben Johnson for talking all that ish. This is what it is. Y'all know MCDC. Lions fans, we already know we fired up for these epic showdowns, and we ain't going to let Johnson forget where he's come from and all the trash talking he's done. We know Ben Johnson, man. We know him. He's been here since the Patricia era. So it ain't like we don't know who he is. So the narrative is clear. The rivalry is set to reach an intensity level that hasn't been reached in recent years. And I hope that the Lions franchise run the Bears out of the stadium each time they play, either in Ford Field or Soldier Field. Man, this guy is really pissing me off. I mean, he is. And I understand that he wants to shift the fate of the Bears franchise with this rich history, but recent disappointments, man, at the Bears, I don't think it's going to turn around anytime soon because the Bears are the Bears. And he's trying to solidify himself as a villain with some of these wins, but at this point, I don't give a damn what he's trying to do. Go Lions. Chicago has faced its share of struggles, man, recently, and expectations are high for Johnson to be this new wonderkin and turn the ship around. If he succeeds, he want to rewrite the narrative of the Bears and Lions rivalry and just the Bears' recent history. But I don't think it's going to be that great, man, because I will say this about Ben Johnson. I've always thought he was a good coach. Never doubt that I thought he was a good coach. I never saw him as a leader of men on the Detroit Lions. I didn't see him the same way I saw Dan Campbell or Aaron Glenn or even the last couple of years, Scotty Montgomery. Johnson standing up in front of a team and being a leader of men is something that needs to be proven to me. I just don't see it. Because just because you can draw up X and O's doesn't mean you can motivate the Jimmys and Joes. So as we gear up this season for these highly anticipated Bears-Lions matchups that promises some unforgettable moments, Johnson's dual role as former Lion and now Bear is setting the stage for the most thrilling chapters in NFC history, and the Lions are going to come out on top. This because he's trying too much. You're trying too hard, dog. You ain't that guy. he's continued to piss me off with all his shots at the Lions and some of his comparison from his new team on the Bears to some of his old players on the Lions. And the latest jab that makes no sense to me is he went after Penei Sewell. Well, kind of. He tried to compare Darnell Wright, the young tackle at Chicago, to Penei Sewell. Guess what, man? Ain't even close. Right? He's good. He's okay, man, but he's not even nowhere near the level of Penei Sewell, right? We know Sewell is a generational talent at tackle. It doesn't matter if he's playing right tackle, left tackle, man. It doesn't matter. And the only awards or things that they share is NFL All Rookie Team. Right? Made it in 2023. Sewell made it in 2021. Penei Sewell has made 3 Pro Bowls and 2 first-team All-Pro selections. We ain't going to talk about all the other AP All-Pro, not the AP, all the other All-Pro teams that he's made. This has been to the Lions because you got PFF, you got the Players Association All-Pro, and you got the Pro Writers Association All-Pro. He's made all those too. But guess what? Wright hasn't. And he will not sniff those type of awards as long as Penei Sewell is in the division or in the NFC, or hell, even in the NFL. Now, I will say this. One thing that Penei Sewell, that I know that is rare, is that Penei Sewell has received AP Offensive Player of the Year votes at tackle. That's a rare achievement, man. You don't get a lot of guys that make an offensive lineman that get votes for AP Offensive Player of the Year. He has done it. And he's done it at the ripe old age of 24. And Wright's 23. And you think that this guy compares to Penei Sewell? I know you want to pick up your guy. You want to have confidence in your players, Ben Johnson. But you tripping on this one, bro. And you try to make yourself the villain. You're just making yourself seem like a jackass right now. Because that's not even a comparison to make. You must have took a big bag of weed from Detroit when you went down to Chicago, man, because you must be high as hell to compare Darnell Wright to Penei Sewell. Bears fans, I know you're going to rally around your guy. You're going to watch this video and say, I'm just hating. But we know this guy. Like I said, he's been here since Patricia. I'm telling you now, be warned, this is not the guy who he is. The guy he's portraying is not who he is. He's not a tough guy. He's a smart guy. He's a nerd that likes football and analytics, and he can drop X's and O's, but he's not a cool kid. And he's not a tough guy. So, Ben Johnson, knock it off. Lions fans, remind this cat who he is. And I have no problem thinking that Dan Campbell's going to do that as well. He's going to put that dude in his place. Hey, man, share your predictions in the comments below. Is Ben Johnson going to be the villain he thinks he is, or is he just being a chump and will face the consequences of his ambitions? That's what I think. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the Lions Nation Unite YouTube channel, and hit the notification bell for all the latest Detroit Lions updates. Make sure you head over to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast for more content from me and my guys LL Cool Torrance and Coach Mike Jones. Thank you for watching. This is Curt Steele, and I will holla at you real soon.